Never perfect.
Man.
Always fun.
We're going freaky! Yeah!
Deanna and Justin in the moment.
I think I've surpassed you in TikTok watching time.
Oh, no. No, there's no way, but continue.
Have you ever made it to the end of your For You page? Like there's nothing left in your feed?
No, mine's unlimited.
Well, I made it to the end of my For You page.
Now, sometimes the app acts up, so you have to reset it. So maybe.
Like I got to I scrolled up and I was like, I can't scroll up anymore. There's nothing left to watch.
You just got to go between different tabs.
I had to close out. I had to exit TikTok. And then I had to like go back into TikTok and then it reset itself. And then I had a whole new For You.
Yeah. Like you can reset your whole feed, but I'll never do that because I've curated a freak show of people.
Oh, I had to reset my whole feed because I was getting the same kinds of videos. It was just like this. It was almost like a repetitive, like the same exact video every 5 videos. And I was like, stop, that's enough.
I'm getting fed like a bunch of NFR content. Do you know what that is? There's the biggest rodeo is in Vegas this week. I don't know why I'm getting it. I think I talked about rodeo to somebody and how like a distant relative is a bull rider and like that's all I'm getting. So like basically, and you're not going out. You just woke up. We went 2 miles and now she wants to go outside. It's like the biggest rodeo. People just like post their outfits on TikTok and like they're over the top. Like it's a lot of suit coats and jeans though, which I'll never get. I'm not a big
rodeo
fan.
was big in Reno.
I mean, the Vegas one's the biggest one. So like, I gotta let her out. She's being a pain.
Oh my goodness, Murph!
She was all the way upstairs.
Come on, there we go. Okay.
So it's the biggest one. There's like a ton of performances. There's like 16 concerts, whatever. But like I'm getting fed all this content, which I don't necessarily care about. The only stuff I do care about is the names of people in the rodeo.
Yeah.
So I have the best ones because I wrote them down the other day.
The like riders, the names of the riders.
So they have steer wrestling and like horse bareback and like roping and stuff and whatever. Some of these names are so good. The guy that's the biggest one on TikTok, his name is Rocker Steiner. His first name is legitimately Rocker. Let's look. I'm obsessed with names. Richmond Champion. That's a real name.
You think his parents named him Rocker because they just knew he was going to end up doing something completely different than everyone else?
I'm going to go through these, and then I've found another list a while ago of like 10 and under rodeo, and the names are insane. Cash Rob, which is such a good name. This guy's named Rowdy Parrot. That's his real name. 2 T's on the end.
Are you kidding?
No, I mean he's like a well-known. I like looked it up because I wanted to know.
These are birth certificate names.
That might not be, but I'm gonna go. Some guy was named Lefty Holman. That's a great name. Tough Cooper. That's one of my favorites too. But like I think like it's just like they just name them because they know they're gonna be like famous in rodeo.
There's something about hearing the name Tough Cooper and just automatically thinking he's like the least tough person on the planet.
Now here's I would say that too, but it's only spelled with 1 F, so it's TUF.
TUF.
Yeah, like okay, I found it here. I'm giving you the real names. The Utah Rodeo had a little like a kid one. These are the names. These are the boys: Cash, Hayes, Ryler, Tuckin, Bronk, Draxton, Ronan, Hayes, True, Reagan, spelled Raygun, like the breakdancer. Brighton, Cutter, and Quaylen, and also in Tibbs. You want to know the girls' names? This is so
Yeah.
good. Swayze, which I have seen a lot lately. I don't know why. Ashley, Gunny, Shindy, Hazley, Navy, Nayvee, classic. Dally Joe, Payson, Keatlin, and Claidlin something. And Mercedes spelled EEZ. This is real. This is real. A lot of lins, a lot of ins. What are we doing with the ins?
These are made up. These are not real names.
I don't consider myself an in because my parents didn't take another name and just put an in on the end. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the in is built, it's not spelled with a Y. The in is built into my name.
Is there sirens going off?
Yeah, a lot of.
Oh.
Well, I left the door open, so I don't have to get up for her.
Oh.
So it's also raining, and she won't come in. But whatever. But I'm a classic in, but like they just take like a regular name, like Kate. Well, no, Caitlin, but you know what I mean. I don't get it. You have to go into it. Your name is for your profession.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's so funny? Like when I first started working in radio, they asked me, "What do you want your name to be?" And I was like, Deanna. Like, why would I want any other name?
Because it's got to sound good. Now, mind you, like when I moved to the West Coast, they were like, "Your name is too ethnic," and then I moved back, and everybody's name's ethnic.
Ethnic?
Yeah.
How is Justin?
No, my last name.
Oh.
Yes, last name. Because you also have a severely ethnic last name as well.
It's true. Well, that's why I don't use it on the air. But, well, no, that's not why. I don't use it on the air because it's too long and too hard to pronounce. And it doesn't sound pretty. No one wants
That's
to
why they
hear
asked you to change it.
Well, I didn't change my name. I just said I just want to go by Deanna. Like they were like asking me if I wanted like a stage name, like
Yeah,
Jersey Gina.
it is. That's so bad. It is weird to like work because I've worked with multiple people for like 5 or 6 years, and then it's like you just call them by whatever their name is, and then slowly you go, "Oh, that's not their real name."
Right. Yeah.
And then some people have radio names that are their real names, and you're like, "Oh, you sure that's not fake?" Like I worked on a morning show. When I first started out, and no one on the show used their real name, and I never put it together until like years later.
I just don't think that I would be able to travel, I don't know, amongst like different genres with one name. What if like the name you have kind of works on one station but doesn't work on another?
That's what you got to think about. I also don't want to do it because, like, if you know how like people get jerseys, I want like my real name on it. Like when they give you a free one when you throw out the first pitch, I don't want some random name.
Like, I don't know. Like, I just don't want to walk up to somebody and I have to introduce myself and be like, "Hey, what's up? I'm Lightning."
Oh God, like the car. Hold on, let me see if I still have this.
It just doesn't feel natural.
I had a list. Oh, here it is. So when I first got full time, they're like, you have to go by Smokin' Joe, which is like a running
I
show.
remember that.
So I was like, I hate it. So I still have the list of like 75 names I would have rather used.
All I saw was a blank screen.
No, you can't because it's not going to show. But I have the list still in my notes from April 22nd, 2016 at 8:50 a.m. Which 8:50 means like I was super upset about the name.
75 other names you'd rather go by.
I'll give you a few highlights. Pork chop. I would have rather used that. Gunner, Beckett, which I kind of was into. Buckshot. I would have rather used that. Cousin Jack. I would have rather used that. I put Moose and Mac, which I feel like would have been good. Chuck Woods. That was one that I would have rather used. Rocket, which I didn't hate. Cutter, which isn't terrible. Biscuit.
Oh no, please.
Baxter. Now these are the Soggy Bottoms. That was I thought was hilarious. And then the crown jewel of this was KC Lights. because it's like every country song. It's a brand. I was like, Casey likes. That works. Tahoe. Reed, which isn't bad. That's actually a pretty good one.
Reed is actually like a real name, though.
Fuzz. I put Kennedy in here because I kind of like that name. But yeah, so I have like, I mean, there's probably more than 75. There's probably about 200 names on here that I would have rather used. And I used none of them. Ribeye was on here too.
Oh my gosh.
I put Abe Froman as well, but I think somebody used that already in radio. Like there's
Like
Marty.
from Ferris Bueller?
Yeah. There's a Marty McFly on the radio. Like, but also just took his name from Back to the Future, which I think was a thing in the 80s. You just take the name from like an 80s movie and just use that on there.
Like the Free Beer and Hot Wings show. Like every time I hear them on the radio and they're doing like a commercial spot or something and they're like, "Hey, it's free beer from Free Beer and Hot Wings."
I'll say what though. I think that transcends the model because I think that's genius.
Yeah. But I mean, people know who they are, but I feel like it's kind of strange. Like, what do they do when they're in the grocery store and they're like introducing themselves to somebody like, "Hey, my name's Free Beer."
Oh, let me see. Like, I feel like they're pretty, you have to be open about it, right? So like, okay, on their website, like their names are Greg and Chris, right? Greg Daniels and Chris Michaels, which also do sound like radio names, but like they have Greg Free Beer Daniels. For the life of me, I think it's the best radio names of all time.
But that makes a little bit more sense. At least they're on the website with like actual human names and then like the show nicknames kind of in the middle. Like that translates to me.
I think they kind of are above it. Like just because it's so good. The show is marketed as Free Beer and Hot Wings, but like I went to a conference when I was Smoking Joe. I tell the story all the time. And like they're like, "Do you want your name tag to say Smoking Joe?" And I'm like, "No." Like so I just got my real name. But
you would have had to be like you could have been Justin Smoking Joe Franiac.
Oh God, that sounds terrible. Like there was a guy there. I just pick it. Like let's say Ribeye. I don't want to say his real name, but like he was like in his 60s, and he came up and introduced himself as like his radio name, and I went, "That was weird. That was just weird to me."
Yeah.
He was just, "Hey, I'm Ribeye," and I go, "Your name's Craig. Just use that, man."
If we ever started a new show together, you should be McRib and I'll be Small Fry.
I told my grandma that I was going to go by beef, and I was going to say everybody loves beef in the morning, and she got real upset with me because I thought it was great. Like, that's a great tag. Just beef. I've used my name the most. Like I used Jay, which I didn't love. But I just like they like put me on there like, "What's your radio name?" They said, "What's your name on the air?" And I went, Jay." And then it just stuck with me.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of terrible. Not terrible.
Yeah.
But
I felt too much pressure to try and come up with something creative that I was just like, why can't I just use my regular name?
Yeah. I'm not going to say names, but I literally worked with so many people. And some currently, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's not your real name," but I didn't put it together. Like I just call them by, and then you find out their real name, and it really blows your mind.
So, I was at the Eagles bar yesterday that we normally go to watch the game, and there's a DJ there, and he plays music like through the commercial breaks.
Okay, there was going to be a question there because you can't be playing it during the game.
No, but yesterday, like he wasn't choosing like the greatest mix, and the people at my table were kind of commenting on it. They were like, "He's like really not like doing too hot today. Like these aren't the best song choices." And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like he's had better weeks, right?
Yeah, slow week,
and
not a big game.
And she goes, and one girl goes, "And why is he playing the whole song?" She's like, "I went to a wedding." And she's like, "And the DJ was great, but he played the whole song." And I'm like, "Why are we dancing to the same song like 3 minutes later?" And I sat there for a minute thinking to myself, is like, how much younger than me is she? Because I feel like younger people have very short attention spans.
They do.
and they just expect things to change like much more quickly than they usually would. Because at our wedding, the band didn't play a minute and a half of the song and then go into a completely different one. They played the whole song.
That was a band, though. Band's different.
But why would it be different for a band than a DJ? Like, why can't people just dance to the whole song? Are we really that like addicted to instant gratification?
No, I think it's because, well, like obviously, like DJing has become more popular now. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
I listen to the True Friends. True Friends, yeah. They have the Big Booty remix. I don't know if you know what this is, but it's the greatest thing ever. There's like 50 of them, and like they mix the whole time, but it's all like hits that we all know, and they put different beats behind them. And they only play them for like 40 to 50 seconds, maybe a minute, and then they go over to it. So, I mean, like in the bar for the Eagles game, just play the whole song because or like 2 songs because it breaks.
Right.
Commercial break's only 3 minutes.
Usually what he ends up doing is he mashes 2 songs together that you wouldn't normally think would go together. And it lasts through the commercial break. And it's like a really cool little extra thing. And you're like, oh, wow, like those songs sound really good together. But it just kind of alarmed me that this girl just said this so nonchalantly. Like, who plays the whole song? I'm like, who doesn't?
I know. You ever get like somebody in the basement that's on like playing songs and they only play 30 seconds of it?
And then they skip.
Annoying.
Yeah, they skip and they keep going. And I'm like, just let the damn song play.
Let me invest in the art.
Oh God, I can't stand it.
I do text people when I get invited to their wedding. I'm like, band or DJ? That's the only question I really have.
Oh, absolutely. And I do judge you a little if you say DJ.
I think now because they're so expensive, it's just like DJ. Bands are more expensive, obviously. It's just like we got to save money, DJ. I'm like, well, this also tells me like how I'm going to pace my drinking, right? I mean, I'm drinking 30 drinks no matter what, but like if there's a band, like I would like to enjoy them, so I'll go a little slower. But if it's a DJ, like it's a full sprint. Like we're just pounding vodka for the 4 hours.
So, speaking of the game, did you happen to see the post in the Philadelphia Eagles fan group on Facebook about the missed connection?
Number one, I'm not in the fan group.
Oh.
Because I'm a different type of fan. Like I don't get that involved.
Okay.
But was it a girl with red hair?
It's kind of like light brown.
I feel like I saw something like blow by me.
All right, listen to this. So
this is from the game yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this girl posts in the fan group on Facebook. Leaving the Eagles game, I was walking through parking lot S next to Citizens Bank Park, and a very cute guy was getting into the back driver's side seat of a pickup. As I passed, he yelled, "You're so beautiful. I just wanted you to know that." Or something along those lines. Of course, I was a little shy and stunned, so I just yelled, "Thank you." Anyways, I should have stopped and exchanged numbers, but missed my opportunity. By the time I had the guts to turn around, they were driving away. If anyone happens to know a group of 4 or 5 guys that went to the game and drove a darker gray or goldish gray pickup with, blah, blah, blah. She gives the whole description of the truck. Parked in the Citizen lot, please pass this along. Tall and white, got into the second row of the driver's side. Figured worth a shot since apps suck these days. And then she posts a photo of herself. This is what I look like.
Okay. So this is after the game.
Yeah. The game was over.
Multiple beers deep.
Everyone was leaving.
Drive-by compliment. Married.
Oh, you think?
100%.
If my husband told another woman in a parking lot that she was beautiful, I would slap him silly.
Well, 4 dudes, drive-by compliment, post-game, married.
I really don't.
I broke that down real quick.
I am so here for the missed connection. I really don't want him to be married. I really want to try and make this happen.
Wasn't there a big misconnection in Nashville, or you posted it, and then I saw it on TikTok.
Yes,
Explain it, because I have one big question.
So, like, one of the candy shops in Nashville, Olive and Sinclair, they shared it on their page. I'm pulling it up right now. Missed connection after a lovely conversation at the Frist, which is the art museum. Okay. So, two people ended up kind of connecting in front of one of the art exhibits, and I guess a girl walked up to the guy, and the girl that the guy was talking to was like, well, that's my cue, and she walked away. And so the guy posted about it, and he was like, I think you thought my friend was my partner, and she's not. She's my friend. So, like, he posted trying to find this chick, and I don't think that there was any like connection made or there's any update, because I keep looking for it every few days. I go back to the post to see if they found each other, because it was on Reddit. I shared it on my page. I talked about it on my show. Like, I'm trying so hard to make these love connections.
I didn't read all of it, but I honed in on one detail, and I didn't stop thinking about it. Who the hell wears berets? I don't go outside and I'm like, let me throw my beret on. You know what I mean?
If you can pull off
red beret.
Listen, if you can pull off a beret,
I feel like red beret is like, it just feels like, I don't.
No.
I'm typing red beret into
it should have been a raspberry beret.
Like, what are we, like this? You look like you're in the army. Right? This is what I think of when I hear of beret. That's beret.
Yeah.
But then I see the other one, and there's this. Like, you look like strawberry shortcake.
Yeah.
So I'm like, who's wearing a beret? That was my biggest thing. Should be easy to find, because I'm going to go ahead and say there's only one person in Nashville wearing a beret.
I got to tell you, though,
right?
Going back to the Eagles game missed connection, the comment section is serving, because one person goes, well, the pickup truck narrows it down to at least all of South Jersey. Good luck.
I clocked that quick. Married. Drive by. Married.
Oh, I don't want him to be married. I want this to work out. I believe in true love.
I believe in true love after the Eagles game. Drive-by compliment. Okay.
Man.
That's
well, if anyone knows these two people,
this married individual, let us know.
I want them to find each other.
And
if he's no, if he's married, then he can, go screw. But
that's what he's trying to do.
If he's not, I really want it to work out.
I'm just saying, drive-by comp, because it's very, I can't engage, but I could throw a feeler out. You know what I mean? That's it. I'm telling you.
You think?
100%.
I don't think every single guy has the guts to actually walk up to a woman and pursue her when she's a stranger.
No, God, no.
Exactly. So
that is horrifying.
So there's a very good chance that he was single and obviously attracted to her and was hoping that by some miracle something would come out of this.
No, here's what I'm saying though. You don't fly out of that parking lot. There's a line to get out. You had time. Drive-by compliment. Married. You got time.
I don't want you to be right, but you probably are.
I just know how it goes. With the boys, kids are at home. Wives are like, go with the boys. Don't do anything stupid. Did one thing stupid. Yelled, you're beautiful. This is how.
And now if his girlfriend's reading this post, he's in trouble.
Well, no, I mean, it's very generic. He got into a car. She didn't describe what he wore or anything.
No, that's true. But if I knew that my husband went to the game with some friends and his friends truck matched that description, I'd be like, oh, which one of you suckers was it?
Someone's getting in a fight that is not even really a fight. Just did you yell this? I think you did.
I love how I love how posts like this kind of tend to start a spiral of other posts just like it. Yeah. Because this morning there was another one that popped up from a woman, who was like, if you were seated in this section,
See, that's specific though. That's
Yeah.
better.
she's like, you and I were talking, but you and your friends didn't come back for the second half. And then, I mean, people are like roasting it. They're like, if he didn't come back for the second half, he's not worth your time.
Or
Like,
they moved seats. They might have moved down. Slick guy that knows what he wants.
they're like, Matt's wife's going to find this, like, because
Yeah,
his name is Matt. Like, oh, Matt's wife's going to see this first.
Sometimes I'd get a misconnection, and I was like, well, if it's meant to be, I'll see them again, and then I just forget about them.
Well, that might be true because Jacob and I basically met one night and then never spoke again and then met again 2 years later.
But you worked at the bar.
No, we met at just a random bar that we don't work at in Point Pleasant because we were out with like kind of the same crowd, but there were like 30 of us.
But the migration of people back to that shore point every year is
It's true.
pretty
It's
consistent.
it's a small crowd, especially like the local crowd.
Yeah.
But
So you could be like, probably going to see him again. Like that I get. That's a hope.
I see, but I didn't know that. Like, and I didn't think that. It's just I was thinking, okay, well, whatever. That didn't work out, and then I moved on with my life. And then 2 years later, I met him again.
Okay. You didn't post about it on Facebook?
No, I
Or-
did not.
Sorry, yours would have been Craigslist. That was
At that point, yeah.
would have been misconnections on Craigslist, which was
Yeah.
a great thing to read.
Oh yeah,
No, I don't think they have it anymore.
2007.
It got way too predatory, I think, on Craigslist for people to post lost connections.
I think I still had my MySpace login in 2007.
Wow. Would you put them right in the top 8?
Oh, I
Gotta be
would have.
Bottom. They start at 8, and then you got to work your way up to 1.
He would have been number 7. I would have made him think he was still a little bit more important than someone else, but not as important.
Very
as somebody.
strategic placement. You have to. That was a very big thing. You had a strategic, and you would move people like weekly.
Oh yeah, I moved people all the time based on how you treated me. I was like,
Horrifying.
You're
Now I
going in
think-
first.
Thinking back to that, damaging to people. Full trauma. Back and forth on your mind. You put like a nice song on there.
I'm like, you messed up this week. You're number 8.
You get it's like freaking Survivor. Ranking people on MySpace. It became just like a music site, I think, eventually.
Yeah.
And you can kind of go back and find your stuff, and there's only a few pictures of me, I think. I don't even know.
And how we all became like low key coders because we were putting music and like backgrounds on our MySpace.
Oh,
and
yeah, I know.
Nothing.
I feel like
like,
that
who-
launched a lot of careers. What's your coding experience? Well, I put a random pop punk song on my MySpace one time.
Well, have you seen my MySpace background lately? It's black with like pink paisley design.
Yeah, and
I
like
did that.
a little skull and crossbones follows my mouse around when you come on my page. I think they were talking about putting music back on Instagram on your page. Like you would get on your Instagram and then you would have a song.
You
Can?
can do something. Yeah, wait, you can do something. You can share a song. You can add it to like your Instagram.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. It's not your story, but it's like you go kind of to your story area. It's almost like you're away,
Oh man, we're
This
just
is
bringing it all
my
back.
status, my Insta status.
This is how everything's like dying. They got to go back to MySpace, which was revolutionary.
Yeah. They're starting to add all these like features that we used to have in the past.
Because they want you to stay on it.
Yeah. Well, you got to keep the people happy.
That she has gone in and out of this door 15 times.
I can hear her.
Doesn't like what she does is right now she's staring at me, not with her head in the house, but her body out of the door. I don't know why, because she probably wants a treat.
Probably.
She's soaked.
Well,
Pain in my neck.
the next time, or Rad has had very little activity the last week or so. So next time we podcast, I'll have an update on what's actually happening with his knee.
Oh, she's like, I'll tell you what though, if he gets it done, the knees are invincible. She's like, we're getting rabbits and squirrels out back.
Yeah, but it'll only be one.
Well, then he'll just be he'll only be able to turn left.
He'll be
Like an
constantly like walking in
Yeah.
a circle.
When he goes and chases after stuff, he just real hard cuts on that knee, and that's it. He'll strengthen it up. Then he'll be strong on both.
My poor baby.
Just run in circles, which is beneficial, so you don't have to chase after anything. You go play with him, he just runs in one big circle.
Oh boy.
There's one benefit to it.
All right. Anything else?
That's it. My hair. Can you see how puffy it is?
Your hair is getting very long. Like it's no longer a mullet.
But it doesn't grow down. It just grows perpendicular
Out.
to your shoulders.
Yeah. It just shoots out now.
I don't know what to do. Like, I could go for a shorter version, but like then I feel like I've just wasted a year of growing my hair. The top is over a year, but
I know we've hit our limit on time here. This is where we normally cut things, but I have to ask you a question. So, I have a friend who I went out with on Friday and cut my night early because she wasn't like feeling too hot.
Okay.
And we were out for like a drink and we came home. And Friday was going to be like my night to go out. I was like, I'm going out, I'm having a good time, I'm going to have some cocktails, right? And so we cut the night short. I'm like, no big deal. Like, she's not feeling great. You know, that kind of stinks. So we go back to the apartment. And then the next night, she goes out from like 4 to 11.
Hell yeah.
And then Sunday, she goes out and does something else. And I'm like, is it me? Did you just not want to hang out with me?
No, she had the poops.
She wasn't feeling too great Saturday or Sunday, but she powered through.
I think the work thing kind of, like when you work on Friday, it kind of drains you more than you. She's very hopeful.
She doesn't have a job right now.
She doesn't. Oh, she's like me now. Well, then, all right. I was benefit of the doubt, but not now.
No, I'm like, it's me, isn't it? You just didn't want to hang out with me.
Okay. Where did you go with her? Here's where I'm gonna. What did you go to? What kind of place?
We went to a rooftop bar in a hotel in downtown because they were having a Christmas party and there were multiple bands playing and it was like really cute.
Fancy-ish?
Nah, fancy-ish, like maybe in decoration, but
was this one of those like PR things?
No, it was just kind of like an open invitation.
And then where did she go the next 2 days?
She went to see her friend play at a bar, and then she went out with her friend afterward, and then she went to see another show on Sunday.
Hates Christmas. There we go.
If
I have to watch, I dropped my cup. If I have to watch Deanna post another video of this freaking gingerbread cocktail, I'm gonna kill Santa myself. I'm kidding. That's it. Just like, all we do is take pictures of cocktails. No, it's not it. She just probably was like, I'm over it.
Yeah. I don't know. I was like, is it me?
I don't think it's you.
Did I do something?
I think it's the holiday season.
All right.
She's like, I don't need marshmallows on every drink I have tonight. Every Christmas cocktail, it's like with marshmallows. I'm like, do we have to?
And glitter.
And like, we're putting cookies around the rim, and I'm like, I don't want booze and Chips Ahoy. I just want booze.
Oh man, but a good boozy milkshake.
You're gross. Darian boozed on me. Darian. That's why she went home. She has a fragile gut like I do. She's like, if this woman force feeds me another freaking mocha mint chelada with Tito's, I'm gonna poop myself on the rooftop. That's why.
Oh man!
She probably went out and just drank straight whiskey for like 2 days.
That's
so you gotta get balance. You gotta balance.
That's not too far off.
Say I got it. Nailed it.
All right. Well,
text her and ask her why she hates Christmas.
That's all I got.
All right. Peace.
Bye, mayonnaise.